Welcome back to the Patricia Raskin Show on WSAR. To speak with Patricia, call 508-673-1480. That's 508-673-1480. Now, here's Patricia.
Well, hello, everyone. We are back. We are back with the Patricia Raskin Show right here on WSAR. You know, I'm really excited to bring on my next guest. When you talk about the purpose and passion and mission of my show, it's to show people how to turn their problems into solutions and their obstacles into opportunities. This man exemplifies that. He's a true role model. My guest is Robert Preston. Robert Preston enjoyed a very successful 33-year career in the insurance industry, building a large insurance organization. He retired in 2011 at the age of 53. He was at the very top of his career, but he retired due to the effects of Parkinson's disease. And, you know, as he says, his new life's calling is supporting Parkinson's disease patients and funding a cure. Welcome, Bob.
Very good to see you again.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
mean, this is really, talk about this.
Well, I was at the very top of my game, as you mentioned. I had a large insurance operation. We employed about 44 people, and we had 6,000 clients. And 5.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease after having had symptoms for about 2 years. So I've had Parkinson's for about 7.5 years. And it's a tough message to get from your doctor. But I sit here today and tell you that I would not trade places with anybody in the world, period. I am having a blast.
Talk about your work, which is helping so many people.
I decided in 2007 that it was time to sell the business. The disease is such that I could not be on my A game, and I did not think it was fair to my brother, who I was partners with, and the staff and the employees. I couldn't keep up the 50 and 60-hour work weeks.
Well, a lot of folks can't, even without any of this.
No, but I had a lot of fun in business. The career I had was truly a blessing. I loved what I did. It wasn't a job. I had a ball. So, in any event, after I retired, I stayed retired for about a couple days, and I'm not one to sit around. So I decided to take on a mission. The Rhode Island Southeastern Massachusetts chapter of the American Parkinson's Disease Association serves 1,900 families affected by Parkinson's disease in the Rhode Island and Southeastern Mass area. And this was 5 years ago, and they were broke. They did not have enough money to buy a ream of paper for their printer. So I set out on a mission at that time to raise $10,000 for them. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I had a really good Rolodex. And that was 3 years ago. And my team and I want to stress it's a lot of people helping me, we've raised $153,000.
Isn't that wonderful, Bob? Wow. Talk about some of the things you're doing with the money.
We have the Rhode Island chapter of the American Parkinson's Disease Association has an information and referral center providing newly diagnosed people with help, direction. They have various support groups throughout the state and southeastern Massachusetts. They have all kinds of social events. Tomorrow's a big Christmas party. We had a luncheon a week ago down in Narragansett. They provide all types of education and support, and it's a very, very good social event. I was very leery about going to my first meeting. I thought I would walk into a room filled with wheelchairs and people on walkers, and it's just the opposite. I mean, on some of them, I'm laughing hysterically.
Well, let me ask you now. I know you're not a physician, but I want to ask you the medical question. Where's the hope in terms of the disease with Parkinson's?
Where's the hope?
Where's the hope? Can people progress? Is it completely degenerative? Talk about
Parkinson's is a progressive disease, like many others, and right now there is no cure. But what I like to say is they're sneaking up on it. They're constantly making new discoveries. There's new medications and application of that, And I am absolutely positively convinced, without any doubt in my mind, that I will be cured.
Let me look at what Michael J. Fox is doing,
Mm-hmm.
and he's still so active.
He's very active, very fine organization. They do a lot of work with research. I have done some work for them, and through the efforts of the APDA and their research arm, the government and the money they're investing in this, the pharmaceutical companies and the Fox organization helping to raise funds, we will find a cure.
Well, this is really, I want to open this up for questions, folks. If you have a family member, a relative, a friend who's been diagnosed with Parkinson's, or if you've lived with this for a while, give us a call and share your story or ask Bob a question. I mean, what Bob did is talk about an obstacle that he turned into an opportunity to help himself and thousands of people in our state. So the number here is 508-673-1480. And Bob, if people want to contact you, how do they do that?
The best way they can do it is if they're onto or into Facebook, they can reach me at, my name is Bob Preston Cure PD.
Bob Preston Cure PD.
That's my Facebook page. They can also email me at rhpreston1@gmail.com.
All right. And folks, if you're listening to this and you forget all of that, just email me, patricia@patriciaraskin.com, and I will forward everything to Bob.
They can also reach me through, and they should visit the
blog.
The blog, which is teambobpreston.blogspot.com.
And what's on the blog, Bob?
Various articles, letters, and reports that I've written during our cruise. What I haven't mentioned is part of the way we raised money. And again, I had no idea what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing when it comes to fundraising. Is we decided to take a boat trip, and that boat trip turned into a 13,000-mile trip.
Wow! A cruise.
A cruise on our own boat, and we left last July 2nd. We came back in May.
Now, what do you mean on your own boat?
The Parkinson's does not slow me down. In fact, I don't.
So you went on your own with your family.
My wife and I.
Okay.
We went as far. We went up to the edge of Canada, turned around, and went down to Florida, across the Okeechobee Canal into the Gulf of Mexico, then off to the Bahamas and the Abaco Coast, and then back. And
how exciting!
This year, we're doing a bigger trip.
Okay. We have Joan from Fall River with a question or a comment for Bob Preston. Thanks for your call, Joan. Go ahead. Hi, Joan.
Hello.
Hi. Your question.
How are you?
Oh, good. Thanks for calling in. Your question or comment for Bob Preston.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
Could you tell me the medications that you would be taking for Parkinson's? What new medications can you suggest to me?
All right. Remember, Bob is not a doctor, but
Right.
Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, I want to be very clear on that. I'm not a doctor, and the Parkinson's symptoms are different for everybody. As I understand it, there's about 20 symptoms. Everybody gets some. Nobody gets them all.
Exactly.
And the neurologist gives you medications based on how he thinks those symptoms should be treated.
So that would be like the Carbidopa?
That's levodopa, carbidopa, just two medications.
Clozapam, which my brother takes, and it does make him sleep. And then the other one would be clozapine, which...
Yeah, what I would say, there is 20 or 30 or 40 that I'm aware of. What I would suggest is you always speak to your doctor. But one note on the meds.
Exactly. See, he has, with this new medication that he's on now.
Good. What were you going to say, Bob?
The medications you're on now, they change constantly. There are new meds out all the time. In fact, I participate in many, many drug studies in order to give the doctors the opportunity to do further research.
So she can always write to you and ask you about those studies, correct?
Yes, yes,
All right,
you
let
can.
me give you the email. Log on to rhpreston1@gmail.com
Mm-hmm.
or Facebook him, Bob Preston Cure,
Okay.
PD. And, you can chat back and forth.
Sure.
All
Great.
right. Thanks
All
so
right.
much,
Thank you very
Joan.
much.
All right. You're welcome. So, Bob, what gives you the drive and the motivation? I mean, now let's take another person in your same situation.
Mhm.
Same situation, very successful, sells the business and gets into a slump and feels bad for themselves. Talk about that.
I have bad days where I'm just wiped out, beat up, what have you. Um, but I have a fabulous support group and the world's best wife, who, when things are a little tough for me, tells me to shape up with a kiss, and I'm off and running again. But I see Parkinson's, I can face this one of two ways. I can roll over in defeat, or I can fight like crazy, and I know I am going to beat this.
Wow. I want to say something to the audience. I'm sitting here and I'm tearing up a little bit because your energy, is coming through. I can feel it. And the power of that is amazing. And folks, our mind is very powerful. You have to do certain things, but our mind has a lot to do with what happens in our life.
The
Not
mindset,
everything, but a lot.
the mindset has an incredible amount on your ability to handle or hide or get through many, many things. And
You know what amazed me is when you came in, when I saw you in the hallway and you said, "I wouldn't change anything. I'm having a ball."
yes,
You really mean that?
as best as I can tell you, with 100% conviction, I would not trade places with anybody in the world, period. Would not happen.
Because
My family, my kids, and everything I have. You can't go through life playing the life game of what if, because you're always going to set yourself up for disappointment.
Mhm.
You have to concentrate and remember the things you have, not what you don't have. So I was an avid skier, very, very avid skier. I can't ski the way I used to, but I can still ski with my kids on easier slopes. I can still boat. We're buying I'm so optimistic on the future. We're buying a bigger boat. We've started it. They started building it on Monday, and I have to do things differently on the boat. I have more handrails or grab rails, and a lot different safety equipment. But Parkinson's slows me down, but it doesn't stop me.
Wow. Boy, I'll tell you, folks, you want some motivation, just keep listening because it's amazing what we can do. And I want to say, Bob, and to the audience that this is the reason that I do this work. This is a real mission and a passion for me, is to bring on these people that will inspire you and that will show you what does work. We hear what doesn't work every single day. We can get a steady diet of that if we just want to turn on TV, listen to the news, and listen to some of the programs. And you know what? I don't think it really helps us. It may help us to understand other people's points of view, but I don't think it helps to move us forward. And that's why I do this work. So we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk more to the very inspirational Robert Preston. We're going to talk about Parkinson's, and we're taking your questions and your comments. We'd love to hear from you. 508-673-1480. I'm Patricia Raskin with The Patricia Raskin Show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Patricia Raskin Show on WSAR. To speak with Patricia, call 508-673-1480. That's 508-673-1480. Now, here's Patricia.
Well, hello, everyone, and we are back. What an inspiring guest. Let me tell you, his name is Bob Preston. Bob enjoyed a very successful 33-year career in the insurance industry, building a large insurance organization. He retired in 2011 at 53 at the top of his career. He retired because of the effects of Parkinson's disease. And what he's doing now is he is supporting Parkinson's disease here, locally, nationally, and through his passion and his mission. Welcome back, Bob.
Hello again.
Yeah, boy, you're very inspiring. So on this website, you have teambobpreston.blogspot.com. Are articles, information?
Articles only on that blog spot.
Okay.
If they're looking for more information, they should go to riapda.org. That is the Rhode Island and Southeastern Mass chapter of the American Parkinson's Disease Association, their local branch, if you will.
Okay. And let's talk about that organization because they're doing a big fundraising campaign.
The American Parkinson's Disease Association and the local chapter is constantly raising money for patient support and research.
Mm-hmm.
They are the only ones who provide patient support in the area that I'm aware of. And that is absolute key, because when I sit in a meeting or I sit in with a group of other Parkinson's patients and somebody new walks through the door, I can pick them out in a second.
Mm.
And without the RIAPDA helping the Rhode Island and Southeastern Mass people, there would be no support for these.
And that's the local organization.
That's
RIAPDA.
.org.
Rhode Island Association of Parkinson's. Rhode Island, let's see.
It's the Rhode Island chapter of the American Parkinson's Disease Association.
Okay.
So you could go to apdaparkinson.org for the national or riapda.org for the local.
How can people help?
Good question. Thank you. We're constantly trying to raise money for patient support, including respite care for the caregivers, for research. If they go to that site, there is a donation page available. And in the very near future, within the next week or so, there's a matching grant coming out. And anything that they donate will be matched dollar for dollar at the riapda.org site. So if they can give $1, that dollar becomes $2. They give $5, that $5 becomes $10, and we're $10 closer to a cure, with immediate help provided for patients and respite care providers. So it's not the $150,000 I've raised did not come from any significant grants. It was $10 here, $5 there, $1 there. Every dollar gets us and me that much closer to a cure.
So don't be put off by the fact that you may not have enough money. You can give $1, you can give $5.
You get 100% return when you make that donation, because your dollar becomes $2 instantly.
Because it's matching.
There's a matching grant.
Incredible. Bob, talk about some of the success stories of the Rhode Island organization and how you're supporting each other and some of the progress you're seeing.
The success stories are one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
It's helping somebody who is providing respite care and they need a break. They need to get away for a day, whether they need to go get a hairdo or a massage, or they want to have their patient taken care of so they can go to the movies with a friend. We have a respite care program. It's a grant program with an application, and we help people out there. We're just starting another one. I helped form a committee of 5 people about a week ago, and our number one goal this year is to provide complementary therapy for those who can't afford it, whether it's yoga, tai chi, massage therapy, acupuncture, or anything along those lines. We are creating a program for the members of the Rhode Island and Southeastern Mass chapter to get assistance.
So that really helps. Those alternative therapies really make a difference.
A huge difference. As I said, you have 20 symptoms. There are 20 symptoms for Parkinson's patients or thereabouts. One of my key symptoms is I get a very stiff neck, very, very stiff neck. I am very lucky that I can afford to go to a chiropractor. For those that can't, we want to provide some kind of assistance.
Mm-hmm. Whether it's massage, chiropractic, as you said, acupuncture.
Right, any of those.
Right, it's just really amazing. Folks, we're taking your calls, 508-673-1480. Any questions for Bob Preston? He is really helping so much find and fund a cure for Parkinson's here in southeastern Massachusetts and in Rhode Island. He and his wife have raised over $150,000 in support of Parkinson's disease patients and research to find a cure. And you really believe that there'll be a cure.
I have no doubt. None at all.
Bob, what would be your advice to someone listening to the show who says, oh, I'm living with this, my spouse has it, or my child has it, or my parent has it, or I was just diagnosed, or I know someone who has? What would be your advice?
Very good question. Contact the riapda.org. You can reach them through their website. And
that website, let's see, that's riapda.org, Rhode Island Association of Parkinson's Disease.
And contact them if you're a respite caregiver, if you're a caregiver for somebody who has Parkinson's. They have programs for respite providers. And if you're a patient, newly diagnosed, please attend just one meeting. As I said, I was very, very leery going into that first meeting. It made all the difference in the world. We have a ball.
You were welcomed, very welcomed.
Very welcome. We're not sitting around in wheelchairs as I thought we were.
Feeling sorry for yourself.
Right. Tomorrow is a Christmas party that's going to be 4 or 5 hours long.
People can come to that. It's open.
All the meetings are open. It's at Kent County Hospital on Saturday beginning at 8 o'clock.
In the morning.
Yes.
Okay.
There is a Yankee swap present if you care to participate, but you don't have to.
Bob, what has being part of this support group, what has this done for you? How has it made a difference?
I get a kick. I actually get a charge out of helping people. It gives me a rush. So I benefit from this. When you think about it, I'm doing this for selfish reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I get a kick, a charge. It helps me. I meet some great people. And if I can close on this note, we did a 13,000-mile trip last year on a boat, my wife and I, alone. We were very fortunate that we just had a new boat contracted. It'll be ready in August. And the next trip is going to make that one look like it's short. We'll be going for about 1.5 years.
Wow. And have you thought about if you had an episode or you needed some support, what will you do when you're on the high seas?
My wife is a very accomplished boater. We have all kinds of safety equipment. But the purpose of this mission is to spread word of our campaign, which is Optimism Can Take You Anywhere. We'll be speaking to many groups along the way in an effort to spread the word that you can face this disease or any chronic illness with defeatist attitude, or I'm going to attack it head on and I'm going to beat it.
Wow. It's wonderful. So you will stop on the boat, and the different stops, when you stop, you'll speak to groups.
That's correct.
And you're setting that up ahead of time.
That's being set up ahead of time and
That's
as we go.
That's exciting. All right, let's give the information. We're coming to a close, but let's give the information, everyone. My guest has been Bob Preston, and his slogan is Optimism Can Take You Anywhere, and he certainly has it, and he's really made a huge difference with Parkinson's disease. You can log on to Bob Preston Cure PD for Facebook. You can email him at rhpreston1@gmail.com. You can read the blog, teambobpreston.blogspot.com. And you can go right onto the website for Rhode Island and match their challenge, even if it's $1 or $5 or whatever you want to give, riapda.org. And this goes, the money raised will go to find a cure and also to support Parkinson's disease patients. Thanks so much, Bob. Yes, go ahead.
The last note, very quickly, the RIAPDA office phone number is 401-736-1046.
Okay, thank you so much. And you can write to me, Patricia, at patriciaraskin.com if you forget all of that. Next up in the studio in their second hour is Richard Bassett, who's a financial advisor. We'll talk about finances. And then in the second half hour, we'll talk to Cheryl Worthington-Turgeon about nutrition and health and food over the holidays. You're listening to The Patricia Raskin Show right here on WSAR 1480.